The $2 billion crypto scam nobody saw coming. What if I told you that a single crypto platform convinced thousands of investors to pour in over $2 billion and then disappeared almost overnight? No warning, no emergency alerts, no dramatic headlines in the beginning. Just people waking up one morning, opening their accounts, and realizing their money was gone. Not hacked, not lost in the market, just gone. And the most terrifying part is this wasn't some obvious scam filled with spelling mistakes and sketchy promises. It looked clean, professional, and legitimate. It looked like something you would trust with your life savings. This wasn't just a scam. It was an illusion designed to feel like the future of finance. The perfect setup. The platform didn't launch like a typical scam. There were no aggressive ads, no desperate marketing tactics. Instead, it entered the market quietly, positioning itself as a revolutionary decentralized finance project. The website was flawless. Smooth animations, real-time dashboards, detailed analytics, a polished user interface that looked better than most banking apps. Everything about it signaled credibility. It had a white paper explaining the technology, a roadmap showing long-term plans, even fake partnerships that made it seem connected to trusted names in the industry. To the average person, it didn't just look real, it looked advanced. And that's what made it dangerous, because most people don't judge investments by understanding the technology. They judge them by appearance. If something looks professional enough, people assume it must be trustworthy. And scammers know that. How it started. In the beginning, only a small group of users joined, early adopters who were curious, cautious, and willing to test the platform with small amounts of money. They invested a few $100s, and something unexpected happened. Their balances started increasing, not slowly, not gradually, but rapidly. 10% returns, then 20%, sometimes even more. At first it felt unreal, but then something happened that changed everything. Withdrawals worked. People were able to take their money out. That single detail transformed doubt into belief. Because once people see real money in their hands, skepticism disappears. And those early investors became walking advertisements for the platform, not because they were trying to scam others, but because they genuinely believed they had discovered something revolutionary before everyone else: the viral growth. As soon as users confirmed they could withdraw profits, the platform exploded. People began sharing screenshots of their earnings across social media. Posts flooded timelines showing massive gains, daily returns, and proof that the system worked. Friends told friends, families told each other. Online communities began discussing it like the next big opportunity. This is the future. I wish I invested earlier. This is better than any bank. The platform didn't need marketing anymore. The users became the marketing. And that's when the real money started flowing in. Some people emptied savings accounts. Others borrowed money. A few even sold personal assets because they believed this was their chance to escape financial struggle forever. The dream of easy wealth spread faster than logic ever could. The money flood. Within months, millions of dollars were pouring into the platform every single day. New investors didn't question the system. They didn't analyze the business model. They didn't ask where the returns were coming from, because they were watching others get rich. And that created one powerful emotion: fear of missing out. People weren't investing because they understood it. They were investing because they didn't want to be left behind. Behind the scenes, however, the truth was far less impressive. There was no revolutionary technology, no advanced trading system, no real source of profit. It was all a carefully controlled illusion: how the scam actually worked. The entire system was built on a simple but effective structure. New investors deposited money into the platform. That money was then used to pay earlier investors. As long as new users kept joining, the system appeared to work perfectly. Returns looked real. Withdrawals seemed legitimate. Everything functioned smoothly. But in reality, no actual profit was being generated. It was just money moving from one group of people to another. And like all systems built this way, it had one fatal weakness. It could only survive as long as new money kept coming in. The moment the flow slowed down, the illusion started cracking. Because scams like this don't collapse from the outside. They collapse from within. The collapse. The moment growth slowed down, everything began to break. Withdrawals started taking longer than usual. Small delays at first, then bigger ones. The platform announced technical issues, maintenance updates, server overloads. Users were told to stay calm, but behind the scenes, the system was collapsing. Then one day, withdrawals stopped completely. No explanations, no clear answers, just silence. The website eventually went offline. Social media accounts disappeared. Support channels stopped responding. And just like that, $2 billion vanished. For some people, it meant losing extra savings. For others, it meant losing retirement funds, emergency money, or years of hard work. Entire families were financially destroyed overnight, and the people behind the platform were already gone. The psychology behind it. This scam didn't succeed because people were careless. It succeeded because it was designed around human psychology. First, it built trust through professionalism. A clean design made people feel safe. Then it used social proof. Seeing others succeed made the opportunity feel real. Next came greed and urgency. High returns created excitement, and fear of missing out pushed people to act quickly. Finally, it reinforced belief by allowing early withdrawals. By the time people started questioning it, they were already emotionally and financially invested. And that made it almost impossible to walk away. Because admitting you were fooled is painful. So many people kept believing, even while the system was already collapsing in front of them. Warning signs you should never ignore. Scams like this leave clues. You just have to know where to look. If a platform promises consistent high returns with little risk, that's a major red flag. If the business model is unclear or overly complicated, that's another warning sign. If users are earning mainly by bringing in new investors, it's not an investment system. It's a cycle. And if everything feels too perfect, too smooth, too profitable, that's exactly when you should be the most skeptical. Because real investments don't guarantee success. Only scams do. How to protect yourself. Before trusting any investment opportunity, take a step back and ask simple questions. Where is the money actually coming from? Is there a real product or service behind the returns? Can the system survive without constant new users? And most importantly, can you withdraw your money at any time without restrictions? If the answers are unclear, confusing, or avoidable, that's your signal to walk away. In today's world, protecting your money isn't about finding the next big opportunity. It's about avoiding the ones designed to deceive you. Because the internet has made scams more sophisticated than ever before. They no longer look suspicious. They look modern, professional, even intelligent. And that's why so many smart people still fall for them. The final warning, the most dangerous scams aren't the obvious ones. They're the ones that look real, feel real, and reward you just enough to keep you believing. It was a perfectly executed manipulation of trust, emotion, and human behavior. And it's happening again right now, in different forms, on different platforms. Some are hidden behind crypto, others behind AI, trading bots, or exclusive investment communities. But the strategy never changes. Promise freedom, create excitement, build trust, reward early users, then disappear before the illusion breaks. If you want to stay ahead of scams like this, subscribe to Scam Ledger. Because the more you understand how these systems work, the harder it becomes to fall for them. And remember, in the world of money, the biggest risk isn't missing out. It's trusting the wrong thing.